I'm not sure what this move is right here. I'm not sure. What is going on, Laker fans? Appreciate you guys being a part of the show. Thank you for taking some time to join the show today. So, got a couple things I want to get into. It's actually really just one main topic that I want to spend some time on in today's episode. I did my radio show yesterday, my Lakers show specific yesterday, and something came out from there that I listened on NBA Today. And I don't know. I was in the beginning, I really didn't think too much of it. And then I kind of started thinking to myself, I'm like, maybe there is something here. Appreciate you guys being a part of the show. If it's the first time you're on the channel, thank you for being a part of it. If this is, if you're a constant visitor to the channel, thank you for doing that. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed. Okay, so if you guys know Zach Lowe, who's really, really good, his work that he does around the NBA on ESPN. I like his work, respect his work. Hoops Collective podcast he does as well with Brian Windhorst, but he covers the NBA for ESPN. So he had a little clip on NBA Today, and basically the case that he's trying to make is that the Lakers are not getting enough respect, that not enough people are truly talking about them as a contender. And I kind of went to thinking about it. I mean, really, his entire point, I'll list out exactly what he said. He said, Lakers are a contender. They're not talked about enough. People are forgetting that they made it to the Western Conference Finals. He said there's a little bit of confusion about the Lakers because they made such a huge transition or transactions at the trade deadline that really just became a completely different team. And then they went on this run. And I think what he was trying to say is people are not 100% sure what they are. And he ended the video by saying the Lakers can absolutely win the title. So I'll spend a few minutes on this. I started thinking, I'm like, okay, well, are the Lakers are not enough people putting them in the conversation to not just compete for an NBA championship, or not even hey, they're going to make the playoffs, or they're going to be one of the teams in the West. We're talking, are the Lakers actually going to be competing for an NBA championship this upcoming season? That's the conversation. That's really all that I'm pointing at right now, and nothing else. I'm trying to think. I'm like, all right, well, where are most people putting the Lakers? Let's start off in the Western Conference, and then I'll point out where I think across the league. So NBA.com does their power rankings, and the power rankings, very simple. It's not anything crazy or anything along those lines. I'll share my screen with you guys so I could just kind of I can walk through and do it with you. Let me see this. Share file, power rankings. Okay, so now you guys see it here. So there aren't too many surprises here. I think everybody's got the Denver Nuggets as a number one team in the Western Conference. This is me just trying to circle back to the Lakers, but let me highlight a couple things here. This is the thing you should really pay attention to. Bruce Brown and Jeff Green are no longer on the Denver Nuggets. So I think they're going to lose some key depth that they had. How big was Bruce Brown against the Lakers? I mean, just against the Lakers alone, that dude was a game changer off the bench. Jeff Green had some moments as well. So Denver, defending NBA champions, absolutely. They should be on everyone's power rankings as the best team in not just the Western Conference, but the NBA. They're the defending champs. They deserve it. Give them their credit. Give them their flowers. So Denver is number one. Okay. Where are the Lakers going to come in? Number two, they got Phoenix. Now, there's going to be people that say, and I'm not, too shocked about this, but I think there's a lot of people are going to say, well, why would they put Phoenix at number two? What have they done? Did you watch them in the playoffs? There's some storylines there with the Phoenix Suns. Now, I could look at it one of two ways. One way I could look at it and say they lost. They lost in the playoffs. There's been a couple seasons now where they looked absolutely demoralized in the postseason, lost to Dallas a couple years ago as well. But let me actually give the Phoenix Suns some credit, and I think this is a thing that we really got to watch out for. I like their additions. I think Bradley Beal will be a really, really nice player on the Phoenix Suns. And, oh, by the way, he's going to be the third best player. I like that. As much as I liked Monty Williams, he did not have a relationship did not have a relationship with DeAndre Ayton. So I kind of think, look, you got to change things up here. If you're not getting rid of Ayton, then you probably got to get rid of your head coach. Okay, Frank Vogel comes in. We are all very, very aware of Frank Vogel and the type of coach he is. He won an NBA championship with the Los Angeles Lakers. I actually don't have an issue with saying that the Phoenix Suns are going to be loaded up. They're going to have a squad this upcoming year. I don't have an issue with that. So there are two teams that we're putting right out the gate. And if you're not having the Lakers as part of a finals conversation, or you feel like they're not getting talked about enough, or maybe they're getting disrespected, whatever the conversation is, I don't have an issue with Denver and Phoenix being in front of the Lakers. I thought NBA.com put the Lakers where I would put them. The Lakers are third on the list of players that teams that they think will come out of the Western Conference. I've heard people say, I do my radio show in the morning, Travis Rogers. And Travis was saying, what are the Lakers? What would have happened if the Lakers, let's say, lost to Minnesota and they had Denver in the first round? Minnesota, they played in the play-in tournament. And they had Denver in the first round and they got swept. Would we be talking about the Lakers the way we did about them getting swept in the Western Conference Finals? Of course not. But I think here is the most important point about the Lakers, and I'm going to start making my case why they should be in the championship conversation, but I'm not too worried about that, to be honest with you. I think the Lakers, they got some work to do once the season starts. I think there's going to be some curiosity there. But I think one of the reasons why the Lakers can truly, truly compete for an NBA championship, and I'm not talking about just get back to the Western Conference. I'm talking about win an NBA championship. I don't think LeBron James' goal is to get to the Western Conference Finals. I don't think that's the goal of Rob Pelinka, the front office, or Jeannie Buss, or Anthony Davis, or Darvin Ham. I don't think their goal is that. Maybe last year we could have said, hey, this was a great year because nobody really expected them to get this far. But this year, those expectations are going to be different. One of the things that the Lakers, I think, were able to do this offseason is they got so much depth. And I think a lot of times you start looking at teams, the Denver Nuggets lost a good amount of their depth from this past year. They're not going to really, really have to depend on players that are super young, and we'll see what those players look like come playoff time, regular season, the whole 9 yards. Don't get me wrong. Denver's going to be in the mix, but they lost some of their depth. Go look at the Phoenix Suns. They got more depth, and they're so top-heavy, and I'm okay with the lineup that they have, but that's going to be the question. Do they have enough depth? If you're just top-heavy, do those players, the Bradley Beals of the world, the Devin Bookers, can they play a role that's advantageous to the team? That's going to be a question mark for the Phoenix Suns. Nobody's going to question the talent because the talent's there. I'm going to go a little bit further down the list because I think in the Western Conference, that's going to be a revolving question. The Golden State Warriors got plenty of questions themselves. We're going to figure out what happens to the Golden State Warriors. But they added Chris Paul, and they didn't really add any size. So the question is going to be, well, how the hell do they go up against a Lakers team that beat them last year in the playoffs? A lot of that had to do with they were just bigger and stronger than the Golden State Warriors, and they did not address that in the offseason. Okay, let's keep going in the Western Conference. Give me another team. The Clippers might be the deepest team in the NBA. The problem is their stars have not been healthy at the right time, which is the postseason. So I think there's a lot of people kind of jumping off that Clippers bandwagon because you've given the Clippers the benefit of the doubt the last couple years. Oh, my gosh, look at that roster. Oh, my gosh, look at all these players that they got. Oh, my gosh, it's Kawhi, it's PG, and whoever else they have. But the Clippers have never been able to put all the pieces together and be healthy at the right time. So you got question marks with the Clippers. You can keep going down the list. Sacramento. Memphis is on this list. We know that Ja Morant's going to miss a lot of time. I think the Lakers are properly rated. I think putting them in that top three in the Western Conference, to be honest with you, I don't really have too much of a problem with. And even if there aren't, I see a lot of this, the way a lot of experts and fans and people who cover the team or they cover the league, I see a lot of them saying Rob Pelinka had arguably the best offseason of any of these other GMs out there or president of basketball operations out there. I don't really disagree. I thought he had a great offseason. I hear a lot of people saying, well, watch out for the Lakers because of their depth and this and that. And then the only hesitation that I get when people talk about the Lakers, which is fair, is injuries and age. Well, there's only two people they're talking about. LeBron's going to be 39 in December. He's going to be in his 21st season. If you got concerns about that, what do you want me to tell you? That's fair. Even though you go look at LeBron's numbers, he's still unbelievable age 36, age 37, last season at 38. Has he fallen off? Of course he has. Does he sometimes settle for jumpers? You wish he'd drive the ball? Of course. That's going to happen with anybody that's starting to age. The Anthony Davis piece, when you talk AD, you talk injuries because AD, when he's healthy, 2 years, he's been with the Lakers for 4 years. Here's 2 of those years. Healthy in 2020, they won an NBA championship. Healthy last season, they went to the Western Conference Finals. Not healthy, Lakers don't make the playoffs. They lose in the first round of the Phoenix Suns. So AD's health is everything, as everybody says, but I don't want to say it's blown out of proportion. If anybody's team, if Kevin Durant's not healthy for the Phoenix Suns, where are they going to go? If Devin Booker's not healthy, where are they going to go? Keep going on. If Steph Curry or Draymond Green's not healthy, if Giannis Antetokounmpo or Jimmy Butler or Joel Embiid, go down the list. Any team that's not healthy, you're not going anywhere where their stars are missing. So I get it with the Lakers. You're a little bit more sensitive with that because of the injuries, because of the age of LeBron James. But I guess I didn't notice it as much when Zach Lowe says they're not being talked about enough. Yes, they are a championship contender. I think they're a championship contender. I think a lot of things got to go their way. What I mean by go their way is making sure guys are healthy and everything else. And a lot of these role players are going to have to play big roles this year. Austin Reeves is going to have to be even better. D'Angelo Russell definitely is going to have to take a step forward. Gabe Vincent's going to have to be the right signing. Rui Hachimura is going to have to live up to $17 million a year, and he's going to have to take his game to another level. But I'm excited about the season. I'm excited where the Lakers are, and at the same time, I think that where they are in the Western Conference and how people are talking about them, I'm not overly concerned with that. I think the Lakers are doing their thing, and I think the Lakers will obviously have a great opportunity to compete in the Western Conference. I saw the rankings for the Eastern Conference, but I don't really feel like merging both sides right now. They had Milwaukee at number 1, Boston at number 2, and Philly at number 3. Now, can things change based upon what happens with Damian Lillard and everything else? Of course they can. But I thought for the most part, it was properly rated. I got one other thing to talk about, but I'm going to throw this out there for Laker fans, NBA fans. If I told you where do the Lakers land right now in the Western Conference, where would you put them? Would you put them 3rd? Would you put them above Phoenix? Would you put them above Denver because of some of the losses that the Denver had in the offseason with some of their role players? Where would you put them? And, I think for me, I think the West is going to be – the West has a lot of questions, but also the West has a lot of teams that have opportunity too. Listen, the Oklahoma City Thunder are a headache. They're young and they're incredibly talented. I really think when Ja Morant comes back, and if this dude could get his act together, I love the addition of Marcus Smart on that team. I think that's going to go a long way. Sacramento's young and hungry. What if the Clippers are healthy? Chris Paul on the Warriors, I think they should have went out and got size, but it's still Chris Paul, and we know the talent that he has. And then, I don't know, you can go down the Western Conference. What if New Orleans is actually healthy and they could put it together? What if Minnesota, look at the talent that they have? There are a lot of teams out there that have just pure talent, and there's a lot of, I think, balance in the NBA right now. But where do you put the Lakers in that mix? And to kind of go on what Zach Lowe said, do you feel like there's a little disrespect when it comes to the Lakers right now that not a lot of people are talking about them? So you can feel free to put your comments below. Last thing I'm going to get into real quick. Winning Time was canceled. So 2 seasons on HBO, on Max, whatever you want to call it. It's kind of funny. We talked about this on the radio. I watched every episode, watched season 1, watched season 2, finished it off on Sunday, and then found out that it was a wrap, that they were ending it. I liked it. Yeah, I hear a lot of people critical about it, and maybe I just didn't I didn't overplay it, or I didn't overhype it or anything like that. I thought it was, for what it was, I thought 2 seasons. If there was another season, cool. I would have probably participated with it as well. But the story of going back to that era, and the fact that it was dramatized, and that nobody's really looking at this and saying, "Oh, this is exactly how it happened." I had a good time with Winning Time. I did. I thought the characters were really good. I thought the acting was really good, and feel bad that obviously it didn't go any further. But I was a fan of Winning Time. But that was a kind of a cool little unique HBO series that some way found a way to cover the Lakers. And I don't know if people outside of Laker fans were interested in it, or the mass media just wanted to watch an entertaining series. I thought it was entertaining, so I thought it was fun. But Winning Time officially canceled. Okay, Laker fans, NBA fans, that's all I got for today. I appreciate you guys being a part of the show. If you have not subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to the channel. All right, guys. Hope you guys have a good rest of your night. Coming back with some additional content here pretty soon. Thank you.